At 50, Santiago Arias is paralyzed from the chest down and experiences involuntary nerve spasms that riddle his body with pain and cause him to shake so violently that he has to be strapped to his wheelchair with pieces of fabric. In 2006, Arias lost his footing while working on a roof for a contractor in Houston. He plunged 2 stories to the ground, breaking a vertebrae in his neck. The accident left him so debilitated that he relies on his wife, Remedios Ramirez, to perform even the most minor daily tasks.
Yo soy la enfermera. Le doy, pues lo cambio, lo baño, le doy de comer, pues todo.
The stories of Santiago Arias and thousands of other injured workers are part of the Texas miracle not mentioned in politicians' stump speeches. They don't talk about how Texas leads the nation in worker deaths. Reports that 60% of workers in the Texas construction industry never received basic training are not in the talking points. They don't discuss the 37% of Texas employers in the construction industry that do not offer workers' compensation insurance. The fact that 90% of the companies that opt out of workers' comp fail to report that decision to state officials, as required by law, goes unnoticed in the political boasting. Never do they mention that the division charged with holding employers accountable has done little to enforce the reporting requirements.
I mean, yeah, you can come down to Texas, no regulation, but it's not good for the citizens.
Lawmakers have defended the Texas system as a model for economic growth. The minimal regulations mean businesses can operate at lower cost, and that means more jobs and better pay. For his part, Arias' employer disavowed any responsibility for his workers' accidents. Rod Bordelon, Commissioner of Workers' Compensation, says his agency does its best to ensure safe conditions for workers.
Well, overall, the system is a terrific system for all participants. We have actually a very good safety record by all standards.
Santiago Arias was working for Gary White, a Houston contractor whose business was raising roofs on industrial buildings. One October afternoon, Arias was working alongside 2 of his brothers-in-law and a nephew atop the 25-foot-tall warehouse roof, tearing it up with homemade tools and no safety equipment. As the men neared the end of their day, Arias reached down for one more segment of concrete decking. He lost his balance, slipped, and in an instant, Arias was laying broken and bloody on the ground below.
Porque yo estaba preocupado de él porque pues él por el hecho de que no estaba su familia con él y ver lo que también ya estaba lastimado de su ojo, decía yo qué iba a hacer de mi tío, pues, porque pues prácticamente ya no iba a vivir su vida como él la vivía antes, ¿no?
Arias has no memory of the fall that changed his life forever. He only remembers waking in the hospital to hear others saying that he would never walk again.
Lo oía. Nada más lo oía, no podía expresar nada. Oía yo, ¿no? Oía yo que decían, estás tetrapléjico. No, pues yo no sé qué sea eso. Y pues que no vas a poder moverte nada.
The bills for that hospital stay and a previous work accident in which he lost an eye totaled almost $1 million, nearly all of which taxpayers would ultimately pay. White was among the thousands of employers in Texas that do not carry workers' compensation insurance. Arias sued White and his insurance company. A jury awarded Arias the biggest workplace negligence verdict in Texas in 2009, $21 million, but he would only take home a tiny fraction of that. The Tribune made multiple attempts to reach Gary White and his attorney. Reached on the phone, White declined to be interviewed. In depositions in the lawsuits filed by Arias and the family of another worker, White said that he provided some fall equipment for workers, but he considered them subcontractors who were responsible for providing their own fall protection. With no help from insurance and a pittance of a legal settlement, Arias and his wife would depend on Houston area charities to meet their daily needs for the next 7 years. In 2013, the couple returned to their home in Mexico and to the convenience store they were working to open when Arias left in 2005. Back then, the family hoped that work in the U.S. would help them to find financial stability, to build their small convenience store, and set a course for a better life. It was the kind of ambition that has driven more than 1.7 million undocumented immigrants across the Rio Grande. a chance that the Texas miracle could be their miracle too. But for Arias and his wife Remedios, the only miracle was that he made it home alive.
Tal vez no me pueda mover mucho, pero sí puedo decir y dar alguna opinión que sea buena y que mi corazón ya no se siente triste, sino que me siento que volví a vivir otra vez.
Reporting in Mexico City, this is Alana Rocha with the Texas Tribune.